The problem states, for the complete redox reaction below, write the half reactions and identify the oxidizing and reducing agents. The reaction is iron reacts with oxygen, yielding iron 3 oxide. First, let's rewrite the reaction, providing a little bit of space so that you can identify which half is being oxidized, which half is being reduced, which essentially is asking about which half is gaining electrons and what substance is losing electrons. So if we look at this reaction in its entirety, we would have 4 iron atoms plus 3 oxygen molecules, yielding 2 units of iron 3 oxide. What we first want to do is identify what elemental substances do we have. Elemental substances have a charge of 0. So iron is appearing in its elemental form. So its charge is 0. Oxygen is appearing with itself, so it also has a charge of 0. On the right-hand side, iron has a charge of +3, and oxygen has a charge of -2. So if we look at the half reaction, we can identify that 4 iron atoms are yielding 4 iron atoms on the right, but in this case, it's losing electrons. It's being oxidized, indicated by the fact that it now is an ion. So each iron atom loses 3 electrons. We have 4 iron atoms. 4 atoms times 3 electrons being lost for each would mean we have a total of 12 electrons being lost. This would provide us with the substance that is being oxidized, and the substance that is being oxidized is known as your reducing agent. The other half of the reaction is saying that oxygen, 3 oxygen molecules, the charge of 0, are gaining electrons. Each oxygen.
Hi everybody! Love chemistry!
So now we had a brief interruption. We had Alexa come through and provide a little commentary. We now have 3 oxygen molecules. Each oxygen atom loses 2 electrons, or gains 2 electrons. So each oxygen atom gains 2 electrons. So the fact that we have 3 oxygen molecules really means we have 6 oxygen atoms. 6 atoms, each gaining 2, would mean that we are looking at a total gain of 12 electrons. And those 12 electrons would balance out with the 12 electrons that are lost. So if you look at your half reactions, we have oxygen being reduced, which means it's gaining electrons, and it is the oxidizing agent.